chapter 25 from Canto 3 part 2 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This canto, this particular chapter is on the devotional services. You will find that Devahuti is going to ask questions to her son, who is none other than Sri Hari himself. And Sri Hari, in the form of Kapila Muni, is going to give answers. The first time we are going to learn about what we say as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is the yoga of knowledge. So the Lord has come on this earth as a son of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. And he is going to explain the philosophy of Sankhya Yoga. But Sankhya Yoga is knowledge only. It is dry knowledge. Dry knowledge doesn't take us anywhere. If I have to tell you how to make a Rasagulla, it's an Indian sweet. You can make a Rasgulla by using the recipe which I have given you. But you will not be able to understand the taste of it. For tasting it, you have to eat it. So making it is Karma Yoga. Knowledge about the subject is Sankhya Yoga. The making part, action part is Karma Yoga. And enjoying it while eating is called devotional path or Bhakti Marg. Bhakti Marg is the sweetness of that whole episode of learning and making. So these three yogas are there. So here Kapila Muni is going to explain to his mother, Devahuti, first the aspect of knowledge. So let us begin the new chapter. This is chapter 25. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3 part 2. This is chapter 25. The glories of devotional service. Shaunaka Muni said, although he is unborn, Sri Krishna took birth as Kapila Muni by his internal potency. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. Now you have to understand, this is a phenomena which is repeated literally everywhere in the world. The Lord, when he has to appear on earth, he has to take birth. So when he takes birth as a human being, or he enters a body of a human being, he is bound by the laws of that world. So even if God has to take birth on this planet Earth, he will have to be following the laws which are set in motion on this planet Earth. And these are governed by Prakriti. Prakriti means Mother Nature. I hope you understand this. Now think about it like this. If Hanumanji or Ganeshji have to take birth, do you think that they will be able to take birth in the form of, a monkey god or an elephant-headed, god? No, they can't. They will be born as human beings only. A human being without a tail and without the characteristics of a ape, a monkey. He cannot have that. So if you think that God has to take a form, he is not going to come with 4 arms. So Kapila Muni is a form of the Lord. He has taken the form. The Lord Sri Hari has taken a form. He is manifested in this body. Okay? So, the Lord Sri Krishna, Narayana, is unborn. That means he is never born. But by his own internal potency, which is called Maya, he takes birth as a human being in the womb of Devahuti. So this is the first birth that is there, which he has taken. And now he has taken this birth because he has to spread the knowledge of spirituality. So he is descended to disseminate this knowledge of the divine. Alright? To whom? Not just to his mother, but to the whole world. So verse 2, Shaunaka continued, there is no one who knows more than the Lord himself. No one is more worshipable or more mature a yogi than he. He is therefore the master of the Vedas, and to hear about him always is the actual pleasure of the senses. You remember this whole episode is going in a direction where Shaunaka Rishi is there. He is listening to the episode as explained by Sutta Goswami, okay, who has heard it from Sukadev. This is a long chain of people involved. So you are hearing it from me today. So you understand there's a whole episode being drawn over here. So Shaunaka Rishi is listening to this story being told of Kapila Muni's birth and how Kapila Muni is going to teach his mother Devahuti. All this is being told to Parikshit. Remember that. So he is talking about the Lord. The Lord is infallible. He is without any faults. He is higher than any yogi in this world. So he is called the master of yoga. As a teacher, he is the highest of the teachers. There can be no teacher higher than the Lord. He is the one who carries the Vedas, which means he is the one who has written the Vedas and he knows the Vedas very well. He is the writer and he is the one who is the propagator of that. So he knows the Vedas also very beautifully. And if we were to listen to him and if we were to even hear what he is saying, it has to give us the highest of the pleasures. You know, when we do these scriptures, like say for example, many years ago I was listening to various scriptures from my grandmother. Sometimes I listen to Bhagavatam, sometimes I listen to Tukaram Maharaj's tales, sometimes to Narad Muni's tales, sometimes to Ramayana, sometimes to some other. You know, all different scriptures and tales were told by my grandmother. Every evening whenever I met her, every time when I met her, we would have satsangs, only two of us, because nobody else was interested. So on one side the radio would play in the evenings. We had a small, veranda outside. The veranda was semicircular. I would sit with my grandmother over there and we would be lighting the chula. Chula means the fireplace. It was a metal fireplace, so we kept it outside, put some coals in it, and it was lit. It would take about 15-20 minutes to burn and to become hot. Meanwhile, on one side of the semicircle, we would be giving some grains to the sparrows that used to come. So there were a lot of sparrows which would come and sit. We would do that. And then we had a radio, a tiny radio, which was playing. There used to be a Bombay B station on the radio. So we would be listening to the bhajans and the kirtans going on over there. And then I would take that thing inside, keep it, and then the evening time cooking would happen. Meanwhile, my grandmother would be sitting in front of me telling me beautiful stories. The stories of the Lord are so wonderful to hear that you can get lost in them and you can really feel one with the divine. And that is why he says over here, when the description of the Lord is done, it's so beautiful. Let us see this verse. Therefore, please precisely describe all the activities and the pastimes of Sri Krishna as who is full of self-desire and who assumes his activity by his internal potency. So when we listen to the description of the Lord and whatever that he is doing, whether he is playing in the Vrindavan, or whether he is gone to some heaven and meeting Indradev or something like that, or he has come to the earth and he is doing bhajans and kirtans along with Tukaram Maharaj and Eknath Maharaj and all these people. So it is very wonderful to see Panduranga amongst the common people, enjoying the whole scene, because he is called one with the self-desires. He loves himself and he loves this whole world. So his desire is to please everyone. And he assumes all these activities with his internal potency, with his own powers. Now we'll move towards Sutta Goswami. What is he saying? Sutta Goswami said, the most powerful sage, Maitreya, was a friend of Vyasadeva. Being encouraged and pleased by Vidura's inquiry about transcendental knowledge, Maitreya spoke as follows. Now, let us go back to the genesis of all this. You remember, Vidura had come back and he had met Uddhava. Uddhava said, I do not have time to give you this knowledge which Sri Krishna has imparted to me when he was going to pass away. Kindly go to Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni is sitting on the banks of the river Yamuna. Kindly go and meet him and you will be able to get knowledge from him. So Vidura goes all the way to Maitreya Muni. Maitreya Muni is the one who is telling him the story. See, we have to understand this. He is telling the story to Vidura about Sankhya Yoga. And he says, this is how Shaunak Rishi had asked the question to Sutta Goswami, who in turn had listened to the story by Sukdev, who was telling it to Parikshit. So there is, it creates a lot of a big masala over here, but please understand how it is. So here Maitreya Muni is telling the one who is sitting in front of him, Vidura. Okay? When Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the stands of the Bindu Sarovara to please his mother Devahuti. Now, we are going back to the original story where we had stopped. Kardama Muni has said to the Lord, when Lord had come in front of him as Kapila Muni, he said, see, I have finished my job on this planet Earth. I have started the race. The race of 9 different types of people in this world. That means 9 different races I have started. My daughters, born through the womb of Devahuti, have been married to these 9 Rishi Munis. My job is over because you have come as my 10th, that is the son, as Kapila Muni. Now it is your duty to tell your mother and the whole world about Sankhya Yoga. So you are the teacher to your own mother. And this is where the story is as of now. So he says, kindly explain everything to Devahuti, who is your mother today. When Kapila, who could show her the ultimate goal of absolute truth, was sitting leisurely before her, Devahuti remembered the words Brahma had spoken to her, and she therefore began to question Kapila Muni as follows. Devahuti said, I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses, for because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. Now, Kapila Muni is sitting over there leisurely. He knows very well that his mother is going to come and ask him questions now. So he sits over there and his mother comes to him. Devahuti approaches the Lord. And she says, I remember Brahmaji telling me, then once you get disgusted with life, then kindly go and approach your son, who is the Lord himself, and he is going to give you the knowledge which is the spiritual knowledge, or what we call as the Sankhya Yoga, so that you can progress on the path of spiritual. So Devahuti has been told to ask questions to the Lord by Brahmaji. So here Devahuti is now imploring her son, Kapila Muni, who is sitting over there. She says to him, I am very sick and tired of these disturbances in my life. What are the disturbances? I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. You know, now we are going to see life from a woman's perspective. Let us listen to it. A woman is interested in getting married when she is young, and she says, I want to settle down in my life. I want a good husband for myself. I want to have a family of my own. I want to raise children. And I want to be a good wife. These are nothing but her dreams. And then the first break comes in her life when she gets married. So it is like a tick, okay, I have got married now. My husband is a very good guy. I want to be with him forever. The man is also thinking on the same lines. I've got a wife of my dreams. The woman is thinking, I've got a husband of my dreams. He is going to be the most beautiful person on earth. He is going to take care of me, love me. I'm going to bear his children. And they go through the entire motions of marriage. Then she gets pregnant. Again she is in the seventh heaven. Because now she is pregnant. And she is going to have children. So now she has her first child. The pain of going through this whole process is very tough. A man has no idea how much of a problem a woman has to face. When she is going through her pregnancy, she is going through terrible changes in her body and mind, and the whole thing is converting her into another person. Her body has gone out of shape. She is carrying the child. Her mind is also out because now she is only thinking of the child and herself. There is so much of pain that is going on in her life. Her life is no longer steady. Nobody ever told her what it means to be pregnant. Nobody. Her own mother was not responsible for even giving her some guidance. And when she is going through it, it is a misery par excellence. The worst kind of misery ever. Her body is going out of shape. She is going through hormonal changes. Her mind is never steady. She is always thinking that she is hungry. She is now eating for 2 people, or herself and the child. Everybody around her is forcing her into something or the other. And then comes the childbirth. Imagine if it is a natural birth. The kind of pain that a woman goes through, a man can never understand this. Because he has never experienced pain the way the woman is going through pain. Let us say she takes an epidural. Does not matter. Or maybe she had an operation, cesarean. It is very painful, just to take a small cut over here is so tough. But to go through a cesarean operation? So she has gone through that, and then she has to look at the child. She is forced to love her child because that has come from her body. And now imagine, this is one child, and to raise the child. Her misery is extending now. It was only this much earlier. Around marriage it was 0. Then it became so much. Then it became so much. Then one child, then 2 children, then 3 children. Then her misery is multiplying every day. Where is the scope for a woman to think of God or any other thing during that time? Is she going to think about her son or her daughter, or is she going to think about her husband? She has to think about both the people. And her husband is thinking of what? Work. And when he comes home, he may be looking at the child and he cannot experience the pain of his wife. Are you getting this? Then the children are growing up. The misery of children growing up is not so simple. If the mother is at home, she has to go through a terrible life. Yesterday we were talking of someone, this man till today doesn't even know how to make a cup of tea. He is alone. Everything he orders online. Everything he orders online. From morning breakfast to lunch to dinner to everything is ordered online. Today's woman is also become like this only. She also doesn't want to do that. Because already she is going through troubles, and now a question of cooking also comes in. Imagine she is working outside. If she is working outside, then outside work plus home work plus child plus husband plus bosses, everything. It is actually a whole load 100 times 100x to the man. So, the woman has no chance of taking God's name ever. How can she become spiritual? So here, what is being mentioned? First, the biggest obstacle in our life, I have to get my daughters married, is finished. All the daughters are married and gone. The son is learning spirituality and he is teaching spirituality. Okay? He is not interested in marriage or anything. Husband is no longer in the picture. Because husband has taken sannyasa. She is left with nothing to do. Nothing to do. No children. No husband. No family. This is a time for her to go in the path of spiritual. She has never entered spiritual. Because full life of hers is misery, 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 misery. The freedom has come to her now. After the children are married and gone. So she says, I am very sick of the disturbances caused by material senses. And because of these sense disturbances, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. The abyss of ignorance is what? It is take care of the children, take care of the house, take care of the husband, take care of everybody, the relatives, friends, this one, that one, cooking, Sweeping, swabbing, washing clothes, you name it, all these are disturbances for her. Where was the time for her to take that one breath? And now her husband is gone, her children are gone, she has nothing to do, she is not even cooking anymore. Maybe she has become like this man, ordering online. She has nothing going on in her brain. Devahuti came to that stage in life. And so she is telling her son, I have now fallen into this abyss of ignorance. I should have now thought, this is time for me to actually take the name of God. So teach me about God. So let us see. Your Lordship is my only means of getting out of these darkest regions of ignorance. Because you are my transcendental I, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. Do you know this is a lifetime opportunity for a woman if she has entered this stage in her life? She has nothing to look forward to. No children to get married, no husband around her. She doesn't have to bother about house and other things. What is the one thing that she should do? And if the Lord himself is there in front of you, your job is to go and ask the Lord, I want to know. I want liberation from this misery. A few months ago, one woman came to me and she said, and she looked at me as if I am some alien person from outer space. Knowing fully well that I am a spiritual teacher. I teach on spirituality about liberation and self-realization and the path of devotion, love and devotion. She was very arrogant to the core, talking about what she has achieved in her life, how she has been. Well, you are meeting a spiritual master. Instead of asking him for spiritual lessons, you are talking about your greatness. You are going to go to hell. Your next life, you are going to become a miserable person. A lifetime opportunity comes walking in front of you and the person talks about all other things except spirituality. So, here Devahuti is understanding this part. She says, please my dear son, who is also the Lord himself, can you take me out of these darkest regions of ignorance? I am a miserable person running after my family, my children, my house, my husband, my life, my whole painful existence, all my hormonal changes and this and that, the whole misery of this life I am running after. And that has given me only ignorance. I am only a purely ignorant person. Can you pull me out of this? Because you have this transcendental I. And it is only with your mercy that I will be able to get out of this circle of life. The circle of life is there. Can you pull me out of this? Till today, I have not seen many women who can do this. They are full of misery and they want to continue to be in misery. They want to go back to their material world and think about their husbands and wives, husbands and children and their house and their peace and their relatives and their friends, and they want to do all kinds of nonsensical stuff, not at all interested in becoming spiritual from any point of view. You see, spirituality means you need to put in efforts, no? They are not interested in efforts anymore. But this is a lifetime opportunity, like Devahuti. And she says, can you take me out of this circle of births that are there, the rebirths that keep on happening? You are the Supreme Lord God, Sri Krishna, the origin and the Supreme Lord of all living entities. You have arisen to disseminate the rays of the sun in order to dissipate the darkness of ignorance in this universe. Now be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion due to my feeling of the false ego. I have been engaged by your Maya and I have identified myself with the body and consequently bodily relations. Such a beautiful words. Here is a woman who is telling the Lord, I am tired of this life of mine. How many women are ready to take up this challenge? Those who have reached this age where their daughters and sons have got married, they have finished with their life. Even at the age of 40, 50 and 60, they still want to enjoy their life. Still want to be bothered with their husbands and their children and their grandchildren and all these kind of things. Their house, their cars, their properties, their retirement benefits. What kind of bullshit is that? Here is someone, Devahuti, who is saying clearly, I don't like this. You are the master of this universe. She's talking about the Lord, Sri Hari himself. She says, you are the supreme Lord God. You have come in this world as my son to disseminate this knowledge of the divine, so that the ignorant people will be able to know this spiritual understanding and the truth. And they will be able to dispel the darkness of ignorance from their life, and they will be able to reach you. So please be kind enough to remove this delusion which I have got into. You know the delusion. Yesterday I was reading some beautiful lines. I wish I could read them for you today. Where Sri Krishna, we are going to actually do it in Canto 11. Sri Krishna talks about it, where he says, every person goes through this misery. And they have to get out of this. Someday they have to understand that this life is so worthless. In that verses, this is from Ekanathi Bhagavat, where Ekanath Maharaj is explaining what the Lord has said. Eknath Maharaj is saying, when you think you have a wife and children, or when you think you have a family, please understand, after they are dead and gone, you are never ever going to see them. Never ever going to see them. It is only in this life that you have come together. It's like logs of wood coming together, or it is like people on an aeroplane, when you are flying to some place, you have some people sitting next to you, isn't it? For a small moment in time. After the flight lands and you go on doing your job, do you even remember the one who was sitting next to you? You don't even remember. You don't even know who they are. Like this, if you are a married man, if you have a wife, that wife is no longer going to be your wife. She will be somebody else's wife, if she becomes a woman once again. And if that is your husband, he is going to marry some other woman as his wife in the next life of his. Why are you thinking he is your husband? And those children of yours are not your children at all. Eknath Maharaj explains this so beautifully as what Krishna says in the Uddhav Gita. Sri Krishna says these words very clearly, that these people who are with you are not your relatives at all. They are not concerned with you. They are least bothered about you. Before you were in this body, they were not your relatives. Now they have come together, so you call them relatives. In the next life of yours, they are not going to be anybody concerned with you. And I want you to think about it. If you are a husband and if your wife is dead and you come to know what she is doing in her next life, will you like it? I don't think so. Similarly, if a wife is alive and a husband dies and he is already grown up and he is looking like a very handsome dude somewhere, Don Juan, and he has got beautiful 10 girlfriends with his, will you like it? You will think that is my husband. I want him. No, but you are an old hag. Who gives a damn to you? You are 60, 70, 80 years old. He is a 20-year-old young man, 25-year-old young man. He is a millionaire or a billionaire. And he has got beautiful girls around his arms. He's got his own yacht and he is going away somewhere. How will that be? You think he will look at you also? I don't think so. So this is the truth about life. Nobody realizes this. We are so lost in our day-to-day affairs that we think this is my family, these are my children, this is my wife, this is my husband. Nobody is yours. Sri Krishna explains this in the Uddhav Gita, and that is there in the Eknathi Bhagavat. If you are to ever listen to Eknathi Bhagavat, you will come to know about that. So here, Devahuti is telling her own son, Shri Hari, who is Kapila Muni. She says, your Maya has entangled me like this, and I have got completely lost in this Maya of yours. Thinking that I have my daughters, I have my son, I have my husband, I have this, I have that. I don't know. Can you please take me out of this Maya and tell me the truth, the reality? And I don't want to be lost in these bodily relations. The bodily relations which people are supposed to get into. How is that? Can you imagine that? It's a very difficult thing for human beings. Devahuti continued, I have taken shelter at your lotus feet because you are the only person who can take of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisance unto you. You are the greatest of all the transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman and between spirit and matter. So here is Devahuti telling the Lord himself, Kapila Muni himself. What is she saying? She is saying, though I am your mother in this particular birth, but I am subservient to you. I want to be at your feet and I want to feel that oneness with you. Can you please explain to me, what is this life all about? What is this man and a woman's relationship all about? What is this soul and this body all about? I have got lost in these day-to-day things, running after life constantly. Raising a family, getting them married, having children, so many things I have got lost in this. I have never even bothered to look at this side of life. Why am I over here? Am I here because I have to raise children? Yeah, that is a material worldly job. I have to do it. But that is not the ultimate thing, isn't it? Why am I here? So I therefore offer my obeisance unto you, who is the greatest of all the. So she says to Lord Sri Hari, who is Kapila Muni, she says, you are the Lord Almighty Master of this whole universe. Can you please have pity on me? Can you just look at me and say to me, I inquire of you. I want to inquire of you about all these things that have happened to me and this life as a man and a woman. Why are we suffering through this? Can you tell me between this, spirit and matter? What is the difference between them? Maitreya said, after hearing of his mother's uncontaminated desire for transcendental realization, the Lord thanked her with himself for her question, and thus, his face smiling, he explained the path of transcendentalists who are interested in self-realization. So the Lord looks at his own mother, Maitreya Muni, son, Kapil Dev, that is Kapila Muni. He is Sri Hari himself. He looks at his mother and says to her, I am really pleased and happy that you have come to me. I am really very happy that you are here in front of me and asking me these questions. These questions come to a person only if they have reached a certain stage. These questions do not come to a normal person. No. They do not come to a person who is looking for, great kind of people, yoga, pranayama and this and that. That is not what is the question. If you think you want to join some classes, those classes are not going to give you anything. The divine knowledge as imparted by Sri Hari himself, as Kapila Muni, what he is going to impart the knowledge, that is the transcendental knowledge which you should have. And this is a Sankhya yoga. It has nothing to do with any other yogas of this world. If any woman has come of this age and is interested in this, and she goes to the Guru and she says to the Guru, please Gurudev, I want to learn about this. She has made it in this world. But if there is a woman who is only interested in her, I am a mother, I am a this, I am a that, that kind of a thing. I am a wife, I have to take care of my husband. It's a shame on this kind of people. If there is a woman who is interested in, I want to further my career, I want to look after this, I want to grow in my life, I want to make millions, billions, I want to become a politician, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want is called desire. If you have a want and a desire, you are not suitable for anything in this world. You are going to be reborn again in the worst womb ever. Please remember these words. Anything which you have as a desire, that desire by itself will give you the worst possible womb in the next life. And you will be born again and again and again and again. There is no end to it. But if this disgust has come to you, and if this kind of a state you are in, where you want to know, where you want to reach the state of liberation and realization, and when you are fed up of this world, your husband and children and this and that and life, this happens after the children are gone. Then you are suitable. Here Sri Hari is telling her, I am happy that you have come to me. Your uncontaminated desire for transcendental realization. The Lord thanks her. I thank you because you have come to me. Because you have realized this is a very important thing for you in your life. And his face was smiling. And so he starts the explanation of Sankhya Yoga to his own mother, who is interested in self-realization. That person has to be interested in liberation, self-realization, knowledge of the self, and becoming one with the divine. Only when such an extreme case comes in a person, then only the person becomes eligible for that knowledge. You can be a housewife, you can be whoever that you are. You can keep on visiting temples, you can keep on doing all vratams and everything. It's not going to give you anything in this world. You think Devahuti had not done all those things? She was Kardama Muni's wife. She had also gone to temples. She had also done all those vratas. She has also done all those pujas, parts that are prescribed. You think she has not done? She has done everything. But still she is not going to get liberated. Liberation will only come to a person if they go through this process of the entire gamut, of learning about spirituality, going through the entire process of sadhana that is there for many, many years, not one year and 2 years. For many years you have to do this sadhana. Kardama Muni himself had to do it for thousands of years. You think you are greater than Kardama Muni or any other? So go through this process. It's a process. You have to then experience the life. You have to try out detachment in this world. Every time when something comes in front of you, don't get so carried away by it. Passion. The passion. I want to watch this movie. I want to wear this kind of clothes. I want to buy this house. I want this kind of, properties. I want this. I want money. That is passion. You are in the gutters already. My husband, my children, my money, my mother, my father, my this thing, my that thing, brother, sister, all this kind of things. My house. What? My children. What is that? If all these my, it's called attachment. When you have this kind of attachment, you can never reach anywhere. This is how you have to be in spiritual, where you have given up everything. You're miserable to the core. Nothing in this world can make you happy. No money coming to you can make you happy. No buying houses can make you happy. On the contrary, it is going to make you sad and miserable. And knowingly, if you are doing it, after knowing that, and you are doing it, you are yourself entangling it yourself up to the next 100 lifetimes of yours. Can you understand this? Don't get entangled in all these things. And this is what this woman has reached, Devahuti, a place in this life where she has become disgusted with everything. Her husband has gone away, and now she is only left in this world. She needs that spiritual knowledge which she wants to pay full attention to. So we have come to the end of verse 12. We will stop over here for today.
Recording stopped.